Hi plant queens, welcome back to my channel. I am Saab if we've never met before, and this is my channel where I talk about my houseplants. So before we get into today's video, as usual, I would love to thank you guys for clicking on this video and for watching and subscribing and liking and all that good stuff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it because it really does help my channel grow and it helps me meet you guys, a wonderful community of plant lovers. And today, if you are on this video, you are either interested in cacti and succulents or you'd like to get into them, which I think cacti and succulents are actually the next big thing in houseplants, along with begonias, in my opinion, just because they are generally more affordable. And I don't know, I've just really been into cacti and succulents lately. It's like I was blind to them for a long time, and then I started out with a few and now I have several, let's just say. So if you are finding that you are liking these cacti and succulents more and more, then stick around because you might find some in my collection that you'd like to add to your own. So first off, I'd like to start by talking about how I care for my cacti and succulents. If you do not care about this part, or if you'd like to just skip straight to where I show my plants, I will put the timestamp up here. But in general, I give my cacti and succulents the same care across all different types. Definitely am not an expert. I probably only seriously started collecting them this year, so I don't have a ton of experience. This video is more of a show and tell kind of video, and I am still learning how to care for them properly. But what has worked for me is that first, all of them are in DIY pon. So if you don't know what that is, I do have several videos about it on my channel that you can check out. And they really seem to enjoy that because cacti and succulent soil mixes available in the market should actually be, mostly a substrate that allows for good airflow. So pon has really been working for me in that sense. I keep them outdoors. Well, outdoors, my outdoor space is like a windowsill that receives pretty direct, pretty harsh sunlight, which all of them can take, thankfully. So they receive pretty much 8 hours or more of direct sunlight a day, and they really seem to enjoy that. Now, I'm pretty sure you are not supposed to give all cacti and succulents direct sunlight, so I would just be careful when acclimating your cacti and succulents. I feel like I keep saying cacti and succulents. Your cacti or succulents to direct sun when you first get them. What I typically do after I receive a cactus or a succulent is that I repot them into pon and then I wait a few days, maybe 2 days before I water them, or if the leaves start to feel soft, and then I water them. And I don't keep them outside. I will keep them very near my window where they receive some amount of direct sunlight, but not too much, if that makes sense. And once they're kind of used to this, perhaps maybe after 2 weeks, they've usually established a pretty good root system by then. That is when I will move them outside with the rest of their little cacti and succulent buddies. I just wiped my camera. That is a lot better, I think. So the temperature here, since I live in a tropical country right by the equator, is ridiculous, which is, I am sorry, the camera keeps quitting on me because it is overheating, which says a lot about the temperature here, which I think is what I was talking about. Believe it or not, temperatures here can go up to 41 degrees Celsius, which I know sounds insane, but that's pretty normal for summer here, which it is right now. And that has been really good for my cacti and succulent collection. Not too good for me. I'm sweating like hell and I have my hair up and it's not helping. So I think I've covered pretty much everything. No, watering. So I water my cacti and succulents twice a week because they are, first, in lots of direct sunlight, and secondly, as I mentioned, in pon, which does not retain a lot of moisture. So that may be shocking to hear for some of you, especially if you live in areas with cooler climates and you may only water your plants once a month or once every few weeks. That is totally normal. It's just really drastically different where I'm from because, again, it's ridiculously hot here and they need different kinds of care with my climate and where I am in the world. So with all that out of the way, I think we should just get right into it, and I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just surrounded with a lot of them right now. I didn't realize I had this many, so I'm excited to show you guys one by one. This is my blue boy cactus. Oh, can't even fit in the frame. Here you go. Is that? Yes. So this is him. And also, just a disclaimer, I am not sure what the scientific name is for a lot of these guys. They're not really something I will research and then buy. With these cacti and succulents, I will usually just go to the garden center and then just pick out what I like. So the names kind of come afterwards, and I'm not very familiar with a lot of the names yet. I will try my best to put the scientific names up on the screen for you where I can. So this is my blue boy cactus. That is just what it's called here. This in the biggest pot, I think, just because it's a really big cactus for me. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this except it's called a blue boy in the market, at least, because you can kind of see the sheen up there. I know it's called something. I think it's called farina. It's like this layer where if you touch it, your fingerprint's there forever. So I got this really cheap because you can see there is some damage over there, but I really love it. I think the imperfection just adds to the appeal. I probably shouldn't spend too long talking about each one because we do have a lot to go through. So here is my Haworthia. Not sure what the species is, but I'm pretty sure it's a Haworthia. There you go. Not loving life. I think this does not enjoy too much light, but still cute, still adorable. Looks like little gumdrops. Here is my bear paw succulent. I think the scientific name for this is Cotyledon tomentosa. I'm not sure. It will be on the screen and you will see it there, but you can see this is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite succulent, just because of the little hands. Look at it, it's so cute and fuzzy. So the fuzzy ones are okay to touch because as far as I know, they do not have the farina that wipes off. So next is one that is probably familiar to a lot of you. This is the Burrows Tail. It was actually gifted to me by my friend. It was once a long strand and I chopped it up to create a fuller pot. And yeah, this part is not doing so hot, but all the new growth here is super happy. Next we have an Aloe Hybrid. I don't know what the hybrid is, but you can see it has those little red spikes all along the plant. So I think that is super duper cute. I have not noticed the red spikes like turn a different color under the sun, but I know some of them can do that, like it's their version of sun stress. But I think it's just super cute and chunky. I've had this for a pretty long time too. So this is a Kalanchoe. I think it is a Kalanchoe Milioti. I'm not sure if that is the right name. It kind of reminds me of the bear paw, just because of the little spikes like that. And I have a lot of Kalanchoe. I think it is my favorite genus of cacti and succulents. It's my favorite genus of succulent, in my opinion. I just gravitate towards the super fuzzy ones, so those are always fun for me. But not all Kalanchoe are fuzzy, as we will see here. This is a Kalanchoe silver spoon, also one of my favorite. And you can see why it's called the silver spoon, because it looks like a silver spoon. So it is super duper beautiful. And the unfortunate part here is that if you touch it, it does have that same thing, the farina I was talking about. You will see that here, I think I dropped it, and that is a permanent mark on the leaf there that is not going to go away. So be careful if you have cacti and succulents like that, to just not touch the leaves so much, even though you want to. This next one, I have no idea what the scientific name is, but it's called the Pickle Plant here, at least. And it's so cute. Look at those little, I don't know how to describe them. They're just soft little arms. They're so adorable. I love this plant. I'm gonna say it's one of my favorites again, but I think I've said that about every single one. But this was on my wish list. I have my own wish list for cacti and succulents just because I don't know, I don't want to include them in my main wish list because it would expand it way too much. Here you go. One last look at this super cute one. Here is a Kalanchoe Panda, I think. I'm not sure. This is actually, I thought this was the bear paw when I got it, but it's actually a different one. But it's also a very fuzzy Kalanchoe, which I love. Here is a Euphorbia Latte white ghost, at least I think. This was actually, when I bought it, it was just one of the little arms of a giant Kalanchoe white ghost. No, not Kalanchoe, Euphorbia white ghost. It was ridiculously tall. It was taller than me. And one of the little arms had fallen off, and I asked the lady who was selling if I could buy this little piece off of her, and she said yes. So now it's rooted and absolutely adorable. Next is an Echeveria, not sure how to pronounce that, but this is what is called, in the market at least, Topsy-turvy. I will include the scientific name if I can find it, but I was just drawn to this because of the shape and also how symmetrical it is. And I think this is a better example of what I was saying about farina and wiping it off. You can see there where other people have touched it, and that stuff is never going away. So as it grows in there from the center, I will try my best not to touch it so it looks more pristine over time. Next was something that was on my wish list even before I was into cacti and succulents. And my friend Tony actually got this for me. She was also the one who gifted me the bear paw, and what else did she give me? She gave me quite a lot of my collection actually. The Doris Taylor coming up later, that was from her as well. So Tony, if you're watching, thank you so much. I think I mentioned her in my last video as well. Like, she's just one of the nicest people in the plant community. This is an orostachys. That is just beautiful. Like, wow, look at that. It's like a little bouquet of flowers. So these actually, let me see if I can show you. I can't, but if I pull one of these out, they can actually turn into like hanging houseplants, because the way it grows is that these little flowers, these little leaves that it shoots out, can be dangling from the plant, and that's also how you propagate it. I'm sorry I'm talking about this one in particular so much, just because it's one of my absolute favorites. Take a shot every time I say that, I guess. So here is another popular one that you are probably familiar with. This is the Booby Cactus. I do know the scientific name for this, but I am not going to attempt it. It's a geometrizan something something. So you can see where it has grown with me. Like when I got it, it had this scarring, and here all the way up to there where it's slightly blue, not sure if that will show up on camera, is all the growth that it has gotten under my care. I absolutely love this one just because it's so funky and unique. And yeah, I mean, it's a Booby Cactus. How do you not like that? Here's the one I was just talking about earlier. I mentioned from Tony as well. This is an Echeveria, I think, Doris Taylor, if I'm not mistaken. The name will be on the screen, but I'm sure you will already see why I absolutely love it. It is a fuzzy succulent. Like, that is hairy. Can I show you that closer? Yep, you will see how absolutely hairy that little guy is, which is either a plus or a negative for some people, but personally I love fuzz on plants, whether it's succulents or philodendrons. So this is another Echeveria. This is called the green ice. I think that's just what it's called actually. Nothing too special about this one. I really just liked how pastel or light the color was. This is pretty new. I also got this just like last week. So this is another one of my bigger succulents. I have no idea what it is called. I will put the name up on the screen if I can find it. But this is a beautiful one, and I know it looks fuzzy on screen, like you can see, but when I touch them, it's actually I'm not sure how to describe that. It's just rough. I can feel the little fuzziness, but I don't know. It's not fuzzy per se. It's just an interesting kind of rough texture. It is beautiful though, and it's pretty large. I might propagate this soon to share it. So this next one is actually pretty interesting. I had a big plant of this before. This is a Mother of Thousands, also a Kalanchoe if I'm not mistaken. And if you know what the main plant or mother plants of this usually look like, then you can probably guess that I took a lot of different babies and just stuck them in this pot. I didn't like how the mother plant was growing, and I think it was around 3 months ago I just put a bunch of babies in pon, and now the little babies are having babies of their own. If you can see that, isn't that insane how fast they grow? It's definitely one of my faster growing ones, and if you're not careful, they will find their way into the rest of your collection, and you will find random Kalanchoe babies everywhere. So this one is also pretty new. This is my Kalanchoe baharensis Spang, if I'm correct. So I thought this was actually something else, but when I was googling it, I found that because it has these not sure how to describe that, this funky texture under the leaf, then it is the Fang variety. So it is fuzzy, which is why I like it, but also it just looks kind of unique, which I really appreciate. For a lot of these succulents, they all look so different from each other, which I definitely love. I think we are at the last one already. I wonder how many that was. I will do a head count and let you know how many succulents I have later. So this last one, I also forgot the name, but I know it's called a Mendosier, and it's absolutely beautiful. I don't think the color on the screen does it justice, because in person it's more like a muted pastel color, which I think I'm also really drawn to aside from fuzzy succulents. So it just looks like a tiny bouquet, again like the orostachys, but in a different way. I hope I didn't miss anyone, but I think that was all of my succulents and cacti. So thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Do comment down below and tell me which one was your favorite, or if you have a favorite succulent that you think I should add to my collection. I would love to find out what that is. I will put another video up here for you to watch, and thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!